The reference to an inappropriate website in the grade 6 English language module introduced under the government's new education reforms came under close public scrutiny, snowballing into major controversy. On Sunday, the government disclosed that following an internal probe into the incident, legal action will be instituted against those responsible. Against this backdrop, several parties criticized the government's education reforms.
It is essential that these education reforms be revised through meaningful consultations with the relevant authorities. Previously, these reforms were strongly defended on the grounds that they were outlined in the policy manifesto. However, with recent developments, a different stance is now being expressed. At present, the printed modules have been prepared to cover a period of 3 months. As a result, both teachers and parents remain uncertain of the final educational outcomes. Therefore, we call for a thorough investigation into this matter before these reforms are implemented.
Meanwhile, several education trade unionists called on the chief prelates of the Malwatu and Askiri chapters to voice their concerns over the matter.
මේක වැරදීමක් නෙවෙයි මහානායකයන්. 6 වසර 9 කුල් මහානායකයන් මෙහෙම එකක් දීලා මේ වැරදි ලිංගික චර්යාවන් මෙහෙමයි කියලා පෙන්වුවාට පස්සේ ඊළඟ මේක හොයාගෙන යනවනේ මහානායකයන් කුතුහලනේ පුංචි ළමයිනේ අවුරුදු 11 10 11 ළමයි මහානායකයන්. මහානායකම්රු 4 9ම එහෙම වහම නතර කරලා ඔය ඔබවන්තට පොඩ්ඩක් ඔය කියන්නකෝ ඒකට අනුව අපි අර රතනපාලට කියලා අපි කියලා 4 9ගෙන් අපි ඒක තමයි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ.
Political factions too expressed views on the education reforms.
If an engineer makes a mistake in constructing a building, it may soon collapse. Similarly, if a doctor makes a mistake, a patient's life could be at risk. In the education sector, however, errors affect an entire generation. This is why we must exercise caution and engage in careful discussion. Although 5,000 teachers have been trained, this information was not disclosed. It was an external party that brought the matter to light. Clearly, the government is taking the wrong approach. When the public raised concerns, I observed that the Prime Minister, in her capacity as the Education Minister, vowed to proceed despite any backlash. If a Prime Minister or other responsible government official refuses to acknowledge a mistake so obvious, that indicates the potential collapse of the education sector. Therefore, it falls upon the President to decide whether a new Education Minister should be appointed. The government planned to implement new education reforms. However, if any aspect of these reforms proves problematic or contrary to the nation's interests, it would be responsibility of the subject minister or the government to address the issue and, if necessary, step down. That said, it would not be appropriate to remove a minister over a single wording issue in a module of the new reforms.